off, but safe to say that bolt broke. We're looking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 intake valves, 2 exhausts. Smacked. Yeah, so I'm finally getting a chance to take this head apart, and yeah. That is the rest of the bolt stuck in there. The funny part is that the dowel is also going too. So now I'm just curious, what caused that? Did I have my, bolts for the adjustable cam gear too tight? These I know were torqued properly, but it's like, did this bolt literally just fail? And as it spun, just took out the dowel as it loosened up? I don't know. I go to take off the intake cam. Look at this. So the dowel for this one broke off too. A little bit of winter maintenance on my mechanical pump here. That's it. Fill it with PP Blast. Run it through. That's all you need. Alright, so in the midst of a little storm I got going on, I'm trying to fab up a bracket for my dry sump tank, because I am putting it in the front. I've had this contraption here for ages. I used to hold my old fuel tank, so won't be using that anymore. That's coming out. I'd like for something to go in that looks way better. We'll get that taken care of. That is step 2, but the first step of this is get the tank in, so that when I put the new fuel cell in, I'll see where I want to mount it and then how I want to mount it. There we go. Probably just saved myself like, I don't know, $300-400. Simple little bracket, easy to go. 1, 2, 3. Brackets in. I think it came out pretty good, if you ask me. It's not perfect, but it's nice. Smooth them little edges for you, Sturdy. Fuel tank I'm gonna try to put pretty much right here. Bam. It'd have been nice if I could have got this back there and tank right here, but the space that I gotta work with, man, sucks, I could have kicked it back a little further, obviously, yeah, but who knows, maybe I still can. I used existing holes for that bracket anyway, so might just be as simple as extending the bracket backwards, so longer, further back, and about the tank here. Doesn't matter to me, as long as I can make it work with, literally I think this fucking 3 inches versus making space for a tank that's gonna fit instead of, here, it's not gonna make any difference. So I feel like I kind of ended up in like a little bit of a sour place towards the end of 2024, mostly because I was just like so pressed for time, and I had this goal in mind. So you know what, fuck it, if I'm not gonna make it to any race events, I might as well do what I really want to do, which is go 7s.
I've had a good chuckle over that one. I'm coming.
And it's like the 2 track days where I was finally able to actually do that at perfect weather. Everything was right. There was small issues with the car, and then it was like getting the fueling right with these new injectors, and there's just a lot of last minute pressing, trying to make things right. Life struggles, man. I think I went to the track altogether like 6 or 7 times over the course of like a month trying to make that happen. And after I realized I wasn't going to FL2K, at least anyway, yeah. So what's cool about that though is that I discovered a lot of things that definitely needed my attention, but for the most part, I would say that I was definitely in a good place, definitely in a good place. So even though it was kind of sour, going through the hurdles and the struggles and the everything, that was kind of enough testing that I think I needed to get the data, because in the very end, the data was promising. Like the car is gonna go sevens as is, you know, without even really leaning on it, so to speak. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, the changes are already underway. You know, we're already making small changes now. There's a lot of small things I want to do, like small things. Move weight around and get it to the right places, obviously, is the biggest thing. Shed as much weight as possible. And my new thing is, unless I'm obviously racing in an event, I want the car to just be as light as it can. And that's a task that, like, honestly, I feel like is easier said than done, because this is where it starts to get expensive. You know, small brake kits aren't cheap. You're looking at probably like $600-700 for the rear, and probably about the same for the front, and maybe more actually, now that I think about it. And it all adds up. It all adds up. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So just one thing at a time. Much better. That should take up significantly less space. So now I can just take one of these 5-gallon drums and basically just fill this up, and I know I'm full. Half or 2.5. This, Jesus Christ, you know, it was nice to double fill this and whatnot, and like, yeah, have all that extra fuel in the system for weight and whatnot, but I'd rather not have weight that's moving around and not have my weight be fuel. So, and plus now I can have this and the dry sump tank share space up there. And between the tank being full and this being full, that's weight as well. So it's perfect. Wow. I have to say, these are incredibly light, especially compared to the OEM one. We're definitely shedding some weight per corner. So we got some cool shit going on tonight. And on the left is obviously the old cam gear with the pin from the cam clearly still stuck in there. Here's the new goodies that came from ATS. Obviously also milled out center sections, a little lighter, which is kind of cool. And these have what look to be like a crush washer and another flat washer back there. So gonna cross my fingers and hope that these don't slip. But this should definitely be much better, much better. So interesting state about what's going on here. Bet you never seen this many 3S heads in one circle. But essentially, I got these 3 heads. One will be sitting here as a spare. All 3 of them are drilled and clearanced here for the socket. Kind of hard to tell, but they're freshly milled to clearance a 9/16 socket for the 11mm studs. And also, they are drilled in the holes for the 11mm studs. And they have this pretty trick hole that's right here on the intake port, right? And that is so that the air temp sensor that I run, that's port mounted, can go through. All 3 heads now have that here and on that one. So this one already has guides and everything pushed in from Head Games. Head Games did what they needed to do here. It just needs to go back. This one will be another one that Head Games will do. And this one will be a spare that will sit here. This head is technically ported. Everything's done. It was a complete head at one point, but it had some journal scoring on one of these journals over here. Head Games kind of doesn't really like dealing with scoring. It's just Dave's pet peeve. I still think in the future at some point maybe we might be able to do something with it. Who the fuck knows? But it's not that serious. I literally have 3 replacements, and I got 2 over there. I mean, one of them is going to my boy Ryan. That's my old ported Gen 2 DPR head. That's a Gen 4 head that I got recently. That's gonna probably go on my new street car. So when I do get to all this eventually, everything here kind of has something, you know. But that's the whole purpose of getting all this done. So a lot of work, a lot of money, but honestly speaking, when it comes down to it, it's like this is what you need to be able to go fast. You need a spare for the spare for the spare, and potentially a spare for that. You know, at the end of the day, this is what it takes to go fast and, you know, race at a certain level. This is only one aspect of it. You know, I still have another block that I need to finish. That's going to be my backup block for the block that's in the car right now. That'll also be the block that has the copper O-rings, the fire rings, if you want to call it that. In reality, what I would also love is a spare transmission, a full spare transmission. But I kind of am ahead of the curve on that because I do have 2 or 3 bell housings now. Just need to get the gear sets. That's the most expensive part, right? I have differentials. I have spools, welded diffs. But that's the plan. The plan is to have 2 at minimum of everything. 2 minimum, 3 ideal. So if you're at a race and you really do kick a ride or something crazy happens, bro, in and out, you know. Your competition will have 3, 4 of everything because their budget covers 3, 4 of everything. My budget is more of a long-term, do this now so that by like November, I'm not having to try to race back and forth to my machinist. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Tomorrow morning, these will go to Dave. And 2 of them will go to Dave, 1 will stay here. And we'll work on this. What's good, y'all? So something a little different today because I'm just bored. I'm so bored. So I don't know if a lot of you know, but I also ride bikes, right? Like I ride a Yamaha R1 2013. It's pretty nice. I'll show you pictures of that. Best sounding 4-cylinder bike, I think, that exists. I mean, the Aprilas are close, but they're V4s, right? So like it's just like a V6 basically, just with 4 cylinders. I mean, they sound good. The Ducatis sound good, but the cross plane for the Yamaha, bro, that shit is just hard to beat. That's just so hard to beat. So I like doing, you know, a little bit of outrageous things from time to time. This is one of them, which I thought was actually pretty cool. So I'm actually going to add winglets from Ducati V4 to the front of my bike because I just feel like my bike looks so naked. And I had some like cheap little eBay ones, but then I kind of like went hunting for the official Ducati ones, and I found some like copies on like AliExpress or whatever. Ordered them up, and come to find out, lo and behold, they fit excellent, like right where I want to put them. Like, look at this, look at this. Like, how dope is that? So, just spent a bunch of time measuring. These are new heads for the race car, by the way. Well, that's a junk one. That's the new one of the new spares. Got 3 of them. I actually went to Head Games today to drop off 3 of the heads for that, but that's a separate video. So these actually have screw holes in them. The one that are on mine are just, they're like half this size, first of all. They're kind of inspired by this look, but they're like half this size. And they just 3M tape, you know, right onto the side. But these have screw holes. So I like that. This is like some sort of, I don't know, ABS plastic or something. So I just got these carbon fairings, literally just got them, but I got them used, you know, they're in good shape. They're not picture perfect, but they're pretty good, clean. And yeah, we're going to drill holes into my brand new carbon fairings. But anyway, look at this. This is for Ducati V4. This is supposed to be a replica, right? Look at how perfect. It even sits there with no love, no assistance. Wow, right? Forgive me for being so excited. So, measured like 3 or 4 times. Whipped my micrometer out. Got measurements in all 4 directions. And doubled up on my paint pen. But I also left my drill in my apartment. So, it sucks. Can't really cut this right now or drill this hole. But I'll probably do it tomorrow. So for those of you that have never seen, this is old girl. And we have some history together, to say the least. I've gone down on her. I want to say, whoa, that sounded crazy.
Whoa. Huh? I was different.
Nah, but I've been down on this bike twice. Funny part is the original color for this bike is actually red. That's interesting. And I changed it over to blue only because when I was fixing it, a friend of mine was parting out his blue bike and he was like just getting rid of a bunch of his stuff and I needed the headlight housing. And I was like, you know what? I was like, how much do you want for like just all your fairings? Because he was making it mostly a track bike. And yeah, we worked out a deal and ended up being blue. Now it's blue and lots of carbon. Pardon that fairing being missing. because both of them are up there. But we got front hugger. There is rear hugger. There is coolant reservoir cover, sprocket cover, intake covers. I actually got these intake covers. They're here. I gotta go pick them up. It's got a lot of carbon, you know. But anyway, what I am changing, this is the eBay shit that was there before, right? And you know, it looks nice. I've never seen another R1 with one. And something I was kind of like in my head, you know, the whole theory behind winglets. It's not really about the theory. I'm just doing it for the look. But in reality, what they are trying to do is get more downforce in the bikes to have some more stability at speed. I honestly am not really a big top-end warrior. You can fly on my bike from time to time, but for the most part, I'm really chilling. I like to twist these lower speeds. I like to ride with my little brother and stuff like that. He's pretty nasty too. And it occurred to me that, you know, these are kind of remakes of the Ducati V4 winglets. For somebody that doesn't know what they are, I'll add a picture. And I was like, you know, damn, the curvature of this, it matched up so well. I was like, I wonder if the real thing, because these are tiny compared to the real ones, which are right here. Look at just how big and massive this is, right? Compared to this. Just like, look at the size difference. It's huge. Huge. Right? So I said to myself, damn, I wonder if the real thing has a curvature that's kind of the same. So I risked it, right? And went and tossed it on, and yeah. So I'm gonna bring the carbon fairings home, being as I left my drill, but what I am gonna do is temporarily put these on so I can see just how they look before I drill the holes, how they look on the bike, because I know they fit there. And I saw the angle, I kind of roughed it out, but I do want to show it on video so that people can see what it's gonna look like with the new winglets versus the old one. Front shot. Well, preferably with a straight wheel. Obviously, I'm super impatient, but this is with the new carbon fender. Fairing, whatever the hell you want to call it. Right? Just had to show you that before I got the winglet on. And then I'll show it to you with the update. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, how sick is that? How sick is that? And obviously it's nighttime, so it's hard to kind of look at the old versus the new. This, you know, is you. That's the dude they told you not to worry about, you know? Yeah. Bro, that looks sick. Looks sick. Obviously, it's just taped on temporarily, you know, but I got the holes marked, ready to drill. I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna drill it now. I'm definitely gonna drill that on the video. My fucking brand new fender. I mean, it's not new, but it's new to me, you know? Consoled, I love it. I love it. I might buy another pair just in case. And knock on and find some wood somewhere. All right, so now we're home. Clearly. You know, there's so many little things that I'm into, and I always say to myself, damn, you know, I should probably make more videos just showing some of the just random stuff. I guess you call this video logging, right? But just some of the random stuff that I do, like this. This is the ball python enclosure that I did. This guy's hidden in there. This is his favorite place to be in, this huge cork. But like, I did this a couple of months ago. It's like a whole bioactive enclosure. It's actually all grown out now. Pothos plant, snake plant, a couple things in there. And it's cool, you know, it's nice for the kids. I like it. I actually adopted the snake. Somebody like abandoned him somewhere. But anyway, we're here. We're at home. Because I left my drill home, so I said, all right, well, we're just gonna bring the fairings home and we'll drill them here. But take a look. So this is where we're at. So what we're gonna do, obviously, is I took quite a few measurements. I used my micrometer, and I'm gonna triple check that. I'm trying to measure 3-4 times, before I cut once, because we only got one shot at this, because this is actually a real carbon fiber fairing here that I don't want to mess up. So I took the measurement of the actual winglet itself, and then obviously took a mic and measured, as you can see, multiple times for where the center of those mounting holes are supposed to be. And I'm gonna just triple check that again in a little while before I actually make that first cut, and we should be in business.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
There's 2 holes drilled. Let's see if we're anywhere near. I'm just gonna commit, honestly. Just step up and go from 332 to 8th. Finish. Pretty good. That's it. I actually think I could maybe grind a little bit out of the center right there so that could sit cushion. Right? But look at the rest. Look at how close. It's not picture perfect, but that's damn perfect to me. Look at the bottom. For something that doesn't belong on this bike, could you really complain? So tomorrow, we'll get over there and we'll get that installed on the bike. That's it. Here we go. Complete. How dope is that? It's electrical. All right, here we are, back on this super gloomy New England day here in New York City. Anyway, so here we have it. Spent some time last night getting these things on. Obviously, let me just get this out, this wrapping here, because then obviously maybe we'll be clear as to what it looks like. But this is the finished product. Looks like it came from Yamaha like that, right? Yamaha's got them in stock on shows. I'll get you guys a part number. Anyway, look at that. Clean drill. So I'm gonna kind of button these up. It's gonna be about 95% installed when I'm done at the end of this. But the goal is to get it on, see what everything looks like. I do want to take them off and put a little bit of actually like double-sided tape between these units and the panels themselves. And then a little bit of Loctite and then screw these guys in. That's ultimately what I want. But I do want to get it on the bike and just get some cool footage to show you guys what it actually looks like. So check it out. Oh my God. Yeah, this reaction of mine right now is super genuine because this looks amazing. Like amazing. It's like a brand new bike. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like spice this up. I gotta give you guys like a good intro to how this looks. I gotta do like a little special effect, a little rolling effect. I gotta do something. This is awesome. This is dope.